A pork plant in Iowa was recently busted employing literal children on the kill floor. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, nearly a dozen children had been working shifts cleaning the plant's meat processing equipment over a 4-year period. This is an investigation over this 4-year period, right? 11 children, some as young as 13 years old, had been found using corrosive chemicals to clean things like head splitters, jaw pullers, band saws, neck clippers, and other equipment at Seaboard Triumph Foods pork processing plant in Sioux City, Iowa. Yes. And by the way, this is the second time federal investigators had found literal children working at that particular meat processing plant. So, ain't the first time, probably ain't gonna be the last. I mean, pretty sure in a couple of months, you're gonna end up having even more teenagers, teenagers and kids working on that kill floor. Great. Now, Iowa is one of the states that have rolled back child labor laws. Many states under Republican rule have done so. That said, they keep running afoul of federal law, which bans certain forms of child labor. Okay, so now let's get this straight. Okay, so you have Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, who the same year, 2023, had signed a ban on gender affirming care, saying, I have to do what I believe is right now and is in the best interest of the kids. So I have to do what I think is in the best interest. Okay, I got to protect the children from that, dastardly gender ideology. Oh my God, the gender affirming care. And the same year, she's like, oh yeah, kids work in the kill floor with corrosive chemicals and dangerous, implements, slaughter implements. Totally fine. Yeah, no, we don't got to protect the kids from that. Even though there have been literal deaths. Yes, deaths. And of course, there's injuries and possible dismemberments. So now, of course, when she signed that bill allowing for more child labor, she wasn't thinking about what's in the best interest of children. She was thinking about what's in the best interest of her corporate donors. So that's really what kind of underlies Republican ideology is what's best for my corporate donors. Ah, great. Now, here's the thing, though. There's a conflict currently between state and federal law. Thanks to the supremacy clause, in most cases, the federal constitution and federal law takes precedent over state laws and state constitutions. Federal standards can only be added to by states, according to Iowa State Senator Nate Bolton. When a state law isn't as strict, federal law kicks in and serves as the minimum standard, rendering the state law moot, which is why we have what's going on in Iowa go on. You've got these companies that are flouting federal laws at the urging of the states, because the states are like, no, go ahead. We deregulated this. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead. Bolton said that he saw continued marketing of the changes in state law, which clearly misled employers on what they can and cannot do for work experiences for children, and now have resulted in federal investigations and apparently major fines being considered. Here is the thing, though. Okay. They're not misleading employers, right? No, they're not. What they're doing is they're saying, hey, go ahead. Go ahead and employ children. You know why? It's going to be cheaper for you. And because you're going to be more profitable, you're going to save money on labor by hiring literal children to run your stuff. Any fines that you come across, well, you'll be able to afford them. And in fact, you'll still come away with more profit. And so that's the trick here, okay? That's the trick. Now, that said, these fines are significant amounts of money. In fact, the most recent settlement comes with Kavest LLC, an Oklahoma-based cleaning company hired by Seaboard from 2019 to 2023. The company was fined $171,919 for violating federal law. But I'm going to guess that their profit margins from being able to save money on labor exceeded that amount. And unfortunately, that's where you run into the problems with, the federal fines, right? They're not enough to stop the companies from doing illegal things. Okay? That's why this happened twice. Now, in September of 2023, Seaboard hired a new cleaning contractor, Fayette Janitorial Services, headquartered in Tennessee. Investigators found that Fayette had hired 24 children to work their overnight shifts, some as young as 13 and carrying glittery school backpacks, including some of the same minors who were employed by Cavest, the previous cleaning companies, the same kids. In May, Fayette was fined $649,304. Wow. So that's a lot higher than Cavest. And still, is it going to stop them from hiring more children? I don't know. Now, Michael Lazzari, who is the Wage and Hour Midwest Regional Administrator, said these findings illustrate Seaboard Triumph Foods' history of children working illegally in their Sioux City facility since at least September of 2019. Despite changing sanitation contractors, children continued to work in dangerous occupations at this facility, which to me is unsurprising because this is by design. Republicans want to push children into the workforce. Simple as that. Okay? And look, they're defunding education for anyone except for the very wealthy. Okay? They're going to make they're making higher education unaffordable, and telling rural families specifically, hey, college, that's liberal indoctrination. You don't want to send your kids there. And they're going to come out to be, pink-haired communists. That's what's going to happen.
Pink-haired communists.
The liberal indoctrination. They're going to come out all woke. You don't want that, do you? Now, of course, what happens is, obviously, college is not a liberal indoctrination center. What happens when you go to college is you meet different people with different backgrounds. And once you are exposed to people from different walks of life, you tend to become a little bit more accepting. You tend to be a little bit more open-minded. Not in every case, of course, but generally. Okay? And so this whole, it's a liberal indoctrination center. What? That doesn't make any sense. But they don't have to make sense. But anyway, they tell people that. And the whole purpose is to get them to not be educated so that only the wealthy kids can be educated. Okay? The wealthy kids, I got news for you. Turns out they go all to all these expensive Ivy League schools and get these college educations and then become wealthy CEOs or wealthy executives. While your kids are what? Cleaning neck splitters or head splitters. So, I mean, that's the result that they're looking for, okay? They're going to exploit those children. And by the way, they're not just exploiting those children, they're also exploiting migrant children. I know. The federal investigation actually came after a 2023 New York Times report about migrant child exploitation. Yeah, in which the paper documented children working in dangerous jobs and overnight hours. Children who arrive at the U.S.'s southern border often stay in the country for years before their cases are adjudicated, thanks to our broken immigration system, which Republicans will do absolutely nothing about, while claiming, we're gonna deport 11 to 16 million undocumented immigrants. We're just kick them right out. Yeah, good luck with that, right? As of 2023, only a third of migrant children are going to actually go to live with their parents, a change from a decade ago, which can leave children vulnerable to exploitation or trafficking. Hey, you want to take on child trafficking? You might want to do something about our broken immigration system. because, that's a major portion of it. Okay. Now, The Guardian has also documented children as young as 14 working in U.S. tobacco fields, although they're doing so legally. And just imagine, you're not old enough to use tobacco, but you are old enough to work in the fields. Insane. Overall labor investigators have uncovered violations affecting 4,030 children in 736 investigations just this year alone, and assessed about $15.1 million in fines. That is an 89% increase since 2023. So you get straight up exploitation of children. And would you look at that? A lot of it happens to be in the states where Republicans have signed laws loosening child labor. So, if you don't think that their entire plan is to get the children to work because you can pay them less to do that work than you would an adult, well, then I don't know how to convince you if you don't believe that. If you don't see what's going on, if you don't see what their plan is. Look, they brought back child labor. They're not bringing it back. They've already brought it back. Okay. And it's very likely now, with Donald Trump coming back into office and Republicans controlling all levels of government again, that they're going to continue to gut protections against sending the kids into the factories. I mean, the Labor Department, they've been pushing these lawsuits under Biden, but what's going to happen when Trump's appointee gets control of that agency? I think those lawsuits are going to be gone. Okay.
Bing, 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 boom. It's gone.
And likely rules against child labor, well, those are going to be gone too. Okay. Or just completely ignored. The government is likely not going to go and actually go after these companies for breaking child labor laws. They're not going to do it. And so, yeah, we're going to see more and more of this. In fact, Project 2025 proposes that Congress pass legislation allowing states to seek waivers from federal worker protection laws, like the Fair Labor Standards Act. That's right, to encourage experimentation and reform efforts at the state and local levels. I know, Project 2025. Oh my God, I can't believe you're still falling about that. You're still talking about that? Well, I don't know, with all the Project 2025 people getting appointed to these important positions, you can bet we're going to have something that looks like it. Policy like this is going to end up coming in some form or another. I mean, that's what they've been working towards all along. So we're definitely going to regress when it comes to child labor, when it comes to worker protections, when it comes to union rights. Okay? That's the reality. And so don't be surprised if we end up seeing a rise in children being killed or maimed when Republicans put them back in the work in the mines for very little pay with no protection. Although I'm sure when that happens, they're going to argue, oh, well, you know what? That's just the price of freedom. In a country where corporations, haven't been more profitable ever, okay, we still apparently have to accept that our children are going to be sent into the mines for the good of America. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe with the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.